ನಿರ್ವಿಶೇಷ ಶುದ್ಧವಾದಿ ಪರಿತ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಹರಿವು today actually is not only a special day, appearance of Radharani, RADHASTAMI, but it is a double auspicious day. It was 1972 on RADHASTAMI day that Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath appeared in Toronto. Actually, those old days, in the early 70s and actually late 68, we had no idea, most of us and most of the devotees, what Krishna looks like, what Radharani looks like. So one day, my god sister Jagannathasi asked Prabhupada how Radharani should look. Because sometimes you see Radharani with the right hand up, sometimes two hands together. So Prabhupada stood up and he made a pose with a head bent, and it was described by the devotees, it was looking like Prabhupada out of this spiritual world. He looking so nice that he made a pose that Radharani should look like this. So we observed that, and most of the deities coming afterwards were with the direction of Srila Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada describes the color of Srimati Radharani is like sandoor with milk. And Prabhupada said that Radharani always dancing. And especially when Radharani in Vrindavan is always dancing. It's from the Ram temple. And then Prabhupada explained more. He said Radharani is the most expert in cooking. She controls Krishna with her cooking. And not only that, then Prabhupada described it. Radharani will not repeat any preparation. Whatever cooked once, no. But so many thousands and thousands, millions of years Radharani cooking, but Krishna, but the same preparation is never repeated. And out of the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Jiva Goswami described Radharani very nicely. He saying that the face of Radharani, if anybody looks at the face of Radharani, he forgets to look at anything else. So she's so beautiful. Everybody hates to look at anything else. That's the feeling of the devotee. When devotees looking at Radharani, and in the nectar of devotion, it describes that we have to follow the footsteps of Srimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada actually gave 2 lectures, in 71, coincidentally, and in 73. About the RADHASTAMI time, Prabhupada was in London, England. And there he described, he said, we'll waste so many lives but just to speculate that how we can go to Krishna. But if we serve Srimati Radharani, immediately the result comes. Because Krishna has 64 qualities. But Srimati Radharani has only 25 qualities. And out of those qualities, 2 qualities are most important, which we should discuss. We'll go through 25 very quickly. But 2 qualities are very important. One is, she is very merciful. She is the most merciful to all the devotees. And the second, the last quality she has, she controls Krishna. So, somebody who could be owner of a corporation or anything, but a person who controls that person is the real in charge is that. So Radharani is the real in charge. So we have to also look at it. The most important place days in Braj. Out of that, Vrindavan Dham. In Vrindavan Dham, we have to learn that is the place for Krishna consciousness. It's the headquarters there. So there we have to learn that how we can approach Krishna. And when you go to Vrindavan, you hear everyone is saying Radhe Radhe. Because they know the formula that how you can approach Krishna. Even when six Goswami, one time, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami was staying at Radhakur, and Rupa Goswami was at Vrindavan, and Sanatana Goswami became very old and he was very, very weak. And brother Rupa Goswami said, come and visit me that I can take care of you. So Rupa Goswami invited Sanatana Goswami to come. So he knew that next day Sanatana Goswami is coming, but Rupa Goswami has nothing. He's a sannyasi and staying in Braj Dham, whatever he'll go at Madhukari, whatever he gets from the begging, different houses, he'll bring it. But that day he decided, my brother is very weak, that affection still comes. Even the devotees have given up everything. The affection is there, the love is still there, the prema is there. So he thinks, if I had some rice and some milk, and some sugar, I can make some ghee for Sanatana Goswami, his brother. So he said, but I don't have anything. And after a few minutes, somebody comes to the hut of Rupa Goswami. And a very young girl, about 16 years old, very beautifully dressed. She brings the milk, pot of milk, rice, some almonds, some everything to make a ghee. Now Rupa Goswami tells her, I got everything, but I don't know, I never cooked in my life. Because he was a minister in Hussain Shah's, and then later on he became a sannyasi. He had no idea how to cook everything. He'd go out and beg something, and there he said, you can maybe help me to cook. This girl who was Radharani, she said, how can I cook? You don't even have a fire in the place. But you need, he said, bring some kande. So I'm being Punjabi, when I was hearing that story, I was scratching my head when they were telling me the story in Vrindavan. I said, why kande? In Punjabi, kande means thorn. I said, what you could do with thorns? How are you going to burn the thorn? But in Vrindavan, in Brajbasi, kande means gobar, like those fuel. They make it with cow dung. So Rupa Goswami goes out, picks up some cow dung and brings it back, the dry cow dung, and fire is started, and Radharani cooks the kheer and leaves. And when Sanatana Goswami comes, he tastes the kheer. He said, I never, all my life, I have never tasted something like this. When Rupa Goswami describes that what happened, he said, for me, he stops eating. He said, for me to trouble Radharani to cook. So this is the mercy of Radharani. She's so merciful. She's very sweet. And also, at one time, there's a place called Pila Popar. There's a pond there, a pond, right at the bottom of Barsana. You know, when you park there behind the wall of the school, if you go to that pond, the water is still yellow there. And some of the devotees still say they smell like haldi there. And you taste the water, it's completely pure. So what happened? Yashoda Maya used to love Radharani so much. She forgot at that time the age of Krishna. Because as we all know, Krishna was 10 years old, and by that time he was already gone to kill Kamsa. mothers don't sometimes think something. They just want immediately their son should get married and bring the daughter-in-law into the house. So she was thinking that somehow or the other Radharani can marry Krishna. So it is a system in India when you like a girl and some arrangement has to be made, you put some haldi on their hand. So when Radharani comes to Nandgaon, Mother Yashoda put so much haldi on her hand and then she leaves. Radharani, but before going to Barsana, she looks at her hand and what's going to happen, what's she going to tell her mother? And Geeta Sundari, and what should she do? So before she goes up to Barsana, she washed the hand in that Tira poker, and for 5,000 years that water is still yellow. So most of you, when you go next time, you should look at that stone, and that is very, very auspicious. And coming to the appearance of Srimati Radharani in the Padma Purana, and there Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati are discussing the pastimes of Krishna. At that time, Mother Parvati asks Lord Shiva, please describe the birth and the appearance of Srimati Radharani. And that time, Lord Shiva said there is nothing more auspicious than listening about the appearance of Srimati Radharani. Anyone who hears the appearance pastime of Srimati Radharani, the devotional service is guaranteed. And Radharani's father, Vishabhanu, his name was Sachinanda in Satyuga, and he was a son of King Trik. And in Gokul, Vishabhanu's father was Mahabahu, and the mother name was Sukhadevi. And also, Padma Purana described Radharani's mother, Kirta Sundari, also known as Kirta Kumari, was the daughter of the king of Kannauj, Malananda. Actually, Krishna's father, Nanda Baba, and Vishabhanu were very good friends. And also, Nanda Baba was a friend of Malana Anand, the king of Kannauj. So when he was visiting Kannauj, he told Malana Anand that this is time, your daughter is very beautiful, and I have got another friend, Vishabhanu, you should marry your daughter, Kirta Sundari. So at that time the marriage was arranged, and Vishabhanu was married to Kirta Sundari. And one day Vishabhanu goes to take a bath in Yamuna River. And there, the village Raval, that is where they were staying. Raval is located this side of Mathura, right across from Yamuna, near one side is village of Nandgaon is 16-20 kilometers away, but if you go to the other side, you'll see right across Yamuna River, you'll see Raval there. So when Vishabhanu goes there to take a bath, he sees a flower, a lotus flower. He had never seen so many lotus flowers in Yamuna River, but he had never seen something like that. But whenever he tried to catch that flower, the flower will go away. And when Vishabhanu moves away from there, the flower will follow him. And he said, what's going on? The flower are looking so beautiful. And he prayed to Lord Brahma that what is this mystery is there? So Lord Brahma comes, he picks up a flower and gives it to Vrishabhanu. And in that flower, Vrishabhanu sees there is a baby girl. Srimati Radharani is there. But Radharani's eyes are completely closed. She is not seeing anything. But Kirtan Sundari is very happy to receive Radharani at the house. So the word goes around that Vrishabhanu and Kirtan Sundari has a beautiful daughter. So all the friends are trying to visit their house and they come to their house. It's a normal custom even in America, Canada, when the child is born, everybody comes to congratulate. And then Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda and Krishna also come to visit Vrishabhanu. And when they are talking, yakking away everything, all of them, Krishna goes to the room where Radharani was there. So the two kathas there, two stories. One says that as soon as Srimati Radharani smelled Krishna is there, she opened her eyes. The second says that Krishna put the hand on the eyes of Srimati Radharani and Radharani opened the eyes. Even now, when you look at the deities, you could see Radharani is always looking at Krishna. Radharani will not open the eyes in the morning unless she is seeing Krishna. So we have to learn something from that. If we want a mercy of Srimati Radharani, to approach Krishna will become very, very easy. How easy? It is very easy. But we have to serve Srimati Radharani. We have to follow her footsteps. That she is always thinking of Krishna. Not in 1 minute goes by that she is thinking of anything else. So we can do that too. And our Guru Maharaj, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has told us what Radharani looks like, what Radharani is, and what her qualities are. And he made it very easy. That how we can remember Radharani. He gave us a formula that we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Hare is also another name of Srimati Radharani. So how easy we want. Nothing more easier than that. So we have to, again and again, Prabhupada describes that qualities of Srimati Radharani. So look at how nice qualities are there. There are 25 qualities, and see how many we can cover. Because today's class, one of my god brothers is visiting here from England. So we are going to split the class into 2 sections. So some of that I describe it, some he describe it. So I got about 4 minutes and let's see how much we can do. Number 1, first quality, she is very, very sweet. Second is, she's always looking freshly young. Have somebody seen Radharani over? She's always young. Her eyes are always glowing. She's always smiling. Never sad. She has all the auspicious marking on her body. Radharani attracts Krishna by her aroma. Krishna is known Madan Mohan. He attracts the whole world. But Radharani is Madan Mohani. She even attracts Krishna. Krishna says that I attract the whole world, but I am attracted only by Radharani. Krishna gives a pleasure to the whole world, but he obtained the pleasure from Srimati Radharani. She is an expert singer. She speaks very sweetly. She is expert, even telling jokes that please Krishna. So Radha means who is the most beautiful, most personal servant of Krishna, who can please the Krishna the most. And as we discussed earlier, she is very merciful. She dressed very nicely, she is very shy, and she is chief among Krishna's gopi. And she always Krishna under her control. So this is what we have to do. Today is not the only day we remember Srimati Radharani. We should remember her every day by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And best of all, we should thank A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami SRILA Prabhupada, who has given us a knowledge about Radha and Krishna. And thank you, Prabhupada. SRILA Prabhupada ki, Srimati Radharani ki, RADHASTAMI ki, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhupada.
Superstar family have joined us here from the Bhaktivedanta Manor from London, and we're very, very pleased to have him and his whole entire family here on such a special occasion. So again, without further ado, we'll continue on with the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Very happy to be here with you. This is my very first time in Toronto. So I'm from London, and I bring with me greetings from the Queen of England. She has asked me personally to pay respects to the Queen of Vrindavan. Maharani ki jai, Radharani ki jai. Actually, when I first came in, I was so shocked. I was so shocked, not just to be in Toronto, that's nice enough, but I was shocked because this reminds me of that beautiful temple that's on the hill of Varshana, the place where Srimati Radharani lived in her earthly pastimes. But on that hill there is a beautiful courtyard like this. Your temple is so big. I didn't think that there was any temple bigger than our London temple, but your temple here in Toronto is bigger than London. And you have domes. And you have Sri Sri Gauratai, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra, and wonderful Sri Sri Radha, Shira Chota Gopinath. And my heart is flying very high. But still I must say something. Is that all right? I know you've been listening very patiently. Anybody speak Gujarati? Yes. What a surprise. In England they call me Dorio Maharaj. But if you don't speak Gujarati, I'll let that go. But we should start at the beginning, and in the beginning is the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda says, He Bhavanasya Mahima Jaya Mishta Purusha Adosya Vishwabhutani Tripadasyam Ritam Divi Tripada means this world is only Ekapada, but the world of God is 3/4 of that world. You know, I was looking the other day at some pictures from the Hubble telescope. The Hubble telescope can show us galaxies far, 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 far away, millions of light years away. But still, as far as we can see, that is only one small portion of the entire reality. And the entire reality, most of it, we cannot see. Apart from what we can see, Lord Krishna says, Parastasmat Tubhavonyo Vyakto Vyaktat Sanatana. There's another place that you cannot see, that is full of brightness, full of light. And this place is full of darkness, fluctuation, and let's face it, unhappiness. That's the bad news. Unless you start with the bad news, you don't get the good news. But in spiritual life, good news always follows bad news. So the bad news is life is short, and there isn't a great deal that will give you permanent happiness. Bad news, end of. When you want the good news, spiritual life is eternal, and it will always be blissful and happy. But to get from one to the other may take a little bit of hard work. So that place is known as Vaikuntha, this place is known as Kunta, place of anxiety, place of problems. When Lord Krishna comes to this world, he comes as a visitor, and he comes for some time. He doesn't stay for too long. He stays as a visitor, just to help us. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Krishna comes as a visitor every so often. And he says, when I come to this world, don't think that I've come like you. Don't think that my body is like yours, that my life is like yours, and don't think that Srimati Radharani is an ordinary person like you. You have your husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends. But when you see me standing next to Srimati Radharani, avajananti ma mudha manushita namashita. Don't think that I'm an ordinary person. Don't think that I'm an ordinary person, because everything is divyam. Everything is divyam. Everything is transcendental. We have to understand that the Supreme Person is Adi Purusha, Param Purusha. Only the highest enjoyment is something of interest to him. Just like this world is a very small world. One time Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, was having his head shaved in a barber shop in India, as you do. And the man said, the barber said to Srila Prabhupada, he said, I think I've seen you somewhere before. Wasn't it Bombay? And Prabhupada said, yes, it was. And then the man said, he said, it's a small world, isn't it? And Prabhupada said, small? It is completely insignificant. Prabhupada never wasted an opportunity to do some preaching. A very small world, because we're all proud. We're proud of not only planet Earth, we're proud of our country, we're proud of our city, we're even proud of our neighborhood. Give us a chance, we'll be proud of our car or whatever we have. So that pride stops us from seeing the real fact of the matter, is that everything that we have is very small. Because when you see this world just from a Boeing 747, when you look down on Toronto, it's very small. And the cars are about that big, and the people are even smaller. So imagine what it's like for Lord Krishna to look at Toronto, to look at this entire planet, to look at this entire galaxy. Very, very small. And yet, he cares. And yet, he comes. So his birth is different. And one nice thing that Prabhupada said was that your body, he said our body, he said it has value as long as the soul is in it. As soon as the soul leaves the body, it becomes valueless. People don't even want to touch it, they don't even want to go near it. Oh, soul is gone. So he said in the same way, all of this matter, everything you see around us is made of matter. It only has value when the Supreme Soul is here to give it life. If you take the Supreme Soul out of this material universe, it just becomes a big lump of matter. But the fact that God is present in all things means that this universe has life. And that God is present in each and every one of us and gives us life. Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitanam. There's one eternal upon whom all the other eternals, you, me, and all of us, we are dependent. So don't try to understand that Krishna is the same as us. And don't even try to understand that Krishna's dharma is the same as your dharma, or your dharma, or your dharma. Each of us has dharma that is found in the Vedas, it is found in the Agamas, it is found in the Puranas. We must follow that dharma. So don't look at Krishna and say, he's not following dharma. Just see how he's behaving. He's a thief. Huh? He's dancing in the middle of the night. Don't look at Krishna. Because there's some things that Krishna does that you can copy. Some things that Krishna does that you cannot copy. And some things that Krishna does that you should never copy. And you have to know which is which. Otherwise you'll get into problems. You'll go dancing on the head of snakes, or trying to put out a forest fire in the north of Canada by eating it. Don't do that. Or you'll walk into a tiger's mouth, or grab a donkey by his legs and try to spin him around. Don't try to copy Krishna. There's imitation and following. Anukaranam and Anusharanam. Anukaranam and Anusharanam. So we follow Krishna's instructions. Although it is said dharma to shakshat bhagavat pranitam, all dharma is coming from Hari. But because he's the Param Purusha, you may not be able to follow the dharma that he does, but you follow the dharma that he teaches. So Krishna is sometimes known as Rasa Raja. Rasa Raja, which means that he enjoys different relationships. Krishna is married to everybody. What is marriage? Marriage means when a man and a woman come together and they ask God, dear God, please come to this hall, please come to this, or if it's a Hindu wedding, please come to this gymnasium, please come to this Marriott hotel, and please sit here, idam asanam. Please sit here. Swagatam suswagatam idam asanam. Please come and stay here for a little while we make our vows. We're now going to promise you that we're going to be married. So in order to be married, whatever religion you are, you need God to come and listen as you make the vows. But God, therefore, he has the power to marry everybody. Why? Because he's in charge of marriage. Because everybody belongs to him, every man, every woman belongs to him. So don't try to understand Krishna's relationship with Srimati Radharani in ordinary terms. You won't be able to gain access. One time at Bhaktivedanta Manor, just outside London, beautiful place, a devotee, my godbrother, his name was Narahari. He came to Srila Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, how can we understand that Krishna manifests thousands of universes out of the pores on his body? He was trying hard to understand this. And you know what Prabhupada said? He said, do not try to understand with your puppy brain. He said, just listen. And one time another girl, she came to Prabhupada and asked him a difficult question about something to do with cosmology. He said, no. He said, just listen. Repeat it. And he got her to repeat it 5 times. He said, now you're beginning to understand. She said, actually, yes, I am. You listen, you listen, you listen. And that listening to Shastra purifies the heart's receptivity and its ability to comprehend. It's a very strange thing. We think that believing in Krishna is a mental faculty or an intellectual faculty. Actually, it's a spiritual faculty which bypasses the comprehension entirely. It's very interesting. So we're not saying that trying to understand Krishna is anti-intellectual. Prabhupada said you will find the greatest intellectuals and the greatest philosophers are also Vaishnavas. But he did say, don't try to understand with the brain or the mind. Avajananti Mamuda. So don't try to understand Radharani with the brain. But you would still ask the question, who is that girl with Krishna. Many people know Ram in the south of India. Many people know Vishnu throughout India. And through all of India, everyone knows Krishna Bhagavan. Whether they've seen the Mahabharata movie, or whether they've read the Bhagavad Gita, or whether, as they may do these days, they go to their hotel room and they open up, they will find 2 books. In India, you find 2 books in many, many hotels in the south of India. You'll find the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So thanks to Srila Prabhupada, you will find all over India in hotels, many, many that I've been to. You'll find the Gita. So sometimes people actually pick it up and read it. And sometimes I only find the Bible. And I go to the hotel manager and I say to him, you know, sir, it would be very nice, seeing as it's in India, you should put the Bhagavad Gita in all the rooms. He says, it is in all the rooms. And I say, no, it's not in my room. He says, oh, it was last week. He says, we have a big problem. They don't steal the Bible, but they steal the Gita. Now I have to buy more. So, wherever people have understood Krishna, they know the image of Krishna. Krishna is standing playing his flute, or Krishna is with a cow, or Krishna is in any one of the different leelas. But there's a question. And that question is, who is the girl standing with Krishna? Now you all know that answer, because Prabhuji is enlightening you, and of course this is what we talk about in this particular temple. But would you know that Radharani is less famous than Krishna? And the understanding of Radha Krishna is the particular gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why in our temples we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani, and Krishna himself standing with Radharani. So it is very clear to understand. Now Prabhupada, he said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a great Swami, a great sannyasi. But he's praying, Gopi Parakamalayor Dasa Dasa Mudasa. That the greatest devotees of Krishna are not the philosophers, they're not even the Saptarishi, they're not even the Suras, the Devatas like Brahma. He says the greatest devotees of Krishna are these cowherd girls. Now, what is a man who doesn't have any contact with ladies at all? He's a sannyasi. Wherever he doesn't speak to women. Wherever he goes. All through life. He took sannyas at 24. But he's saying that these ladies, they're better than me. Because he's speaking as an ordinary Swami. So he says, these ladies are better than me. These are the best devotees of Krishna. Yes. How is it the best devotees of Krishna are these young girls who know no philosophy, who just milk cows? Please put your hand up if you've ever milked a cow. Please put your hand up if you've never, ever in your life milked a cow. Sharamaleche. That is not good. You must find a cow. Here in Toronto, you must bring a cow into the temple. In the south of India, before the curtains open, they bring a baby cow, so that before you have the darshan of the Lord's first darshan is not all of you, but the face of a beautiful cow. Very auspicious. If you can have a cow here, just once, he will arrange. So then he says, out of all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the best. And this is a gift of our Sampradaya, because Radha Krishna is the object of worship of the devotees. Now in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada said something very interesting. He said, Radha Krishna is the exchange of love. Radha Krishna is the exchange of love. He said, just like a businessman. Do we have any businessmen in the audience? Any businessmen? Senior managers? CEOs? Nobody's putting up their hand. I'm sure some of you have some important positions. And if a man or a woman has an important position, they have other people to do things for them. And the more people you have doing things for you, the higher up your position is in the company. One time Prabhupada was asked, they said to him, Prabhupada, why are there so many demigods? If Krishna is so powerful, why are there so many demigods? And he said, why so many? He said, you have no idea what it takes to run a universe. But Krishna has so many gods and goddesses doing everything. He has so many potencies. He is the Shaktiman, and these are his Shaktis. So out of all the Shaktis, Krishna has 3 that are important. So he has his external energy. We know all about that, as Maya. He has his marginal potency, that is us, the Jiva. And he has his internal potency. And of the internal potency is also divided into 3. We have the Sandhini, is existence potency. The Samvit is knowledge potency. And then the Hladini is pleasure potency. What does that mean? It means that Krishna expands himself in such a way in order to achieve pleasure. You see, he's Parampurusha. He's meant to do that. He's meant to enjoy himself. That's one of the difficult things in our Krishna consciousness movement. All the philosophy that Prabhupada has written is meant to get us to the point of understanding that everything is for the enjoyment of God and nothing is for me. Idam na mama. Idam na mama. Nothing is for me, everything is Govindaya. Everything is for Govinda. And this is the mood of the surrendered soul. This is the mood of someone who is serving Krishna. And according to our surrender to that position of service to Krishna, we can understand Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam we find Vedanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. That as you try to understand God and move towards Him, He moves towards you and you understand it in layers. You see? There are different layers. When you're listening to the class, they don't give you a cushion. When you're giving the class, they give you a cushion and a big chair. But when you're really special, they put you right up there. And all these men here, they're very special because they get the balcony seats. They must pay a lot of money to be up there. So Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shakti, it comes in layers. So the topmost layer, the top floor of the building, the penthouse suite of understanding Krishna, this is to understand Krishna, Bhagavan. So this internal potency that Krishna has is known as Hladini, and it's meant for giving him pleasure. And out of all the things that you can enjoy, the pleasure of loving someone and being completely loved by someone, that's the pleasure that we look for. Yes, there's pleasure in food. Yes, there's pleasure in travel. Yes, there's pleasure in fast cars. There's many different types of pleasure. But if you love someone and you are loved by someone, then you can do without food. Because when people are in love, sometimes they don't eat. And when people are in love, they don't worry about fast cars. And when people are in love, they don't want to travel anywhere except with their beloved. So love conquers all. And as the Beatles used to say, all you need is love. Love, thank you. So love for things in this world, unfortunately, that's the bad news. That they come, they're here today, and then they're gone. But love on the spiritual platform, on this not Brahman platform, that is also You will enjoy it, but it will come to an end. Paramatma means there's something more. So on the platform of Bhagavan, that love for Bhagavan is the greatest possible love. And with that love comes the greatest possible enjoyment. But when you love someone, it's not just a feeling. Not just a feeling. 300 years ago, the word love didn't mean a feeling that you have in your heart. That's just putting yourself as the recipient of love. The word love actually means to do service. And that word service translates in Sanskrit to the word Radha. Aradhanam. Aradhanam means to offer service of love. This is the highest form of bhakti. Bhakti means to practice loving service. And Aradhana means to actually do it. So Radha takes her name from that. And she is Radha Rani, the queen of Aradhana, the queen of that loving service to Krishna. So as Krishna has Hladini Shakti, Radharani has his pleasure potency, so Radharani has so many helpers. She is the queen of so many helpers, so many gopis. And each gopi has manjaris, and each manjari has dasis. And in this way, it is a great flowing of love towards Krishna. You see, the difference is that we are always seeking love, but never quite finding it. And Krishna, he manifests it. And he doesn't look for it here. Today it was very rainy in Toronto, no? Very rainy. I was half expecting Krishna to come and hold up Govardhan Hill. There was so much rain. So when you look up, you can't see the sun. But that doesn't mean that the sun is not there. The clouds are there. But they have the position. You can't see the sun, but the sun is actually there. You go up in the airplane and you can look down on the clouds. So the sun never comes below the clouds, does it? You don't die. The sun doesn't come below the clouds. So God never comes below the position of Maya. He's always above. He's always Maheshwar. He's always the controller of Maya. So Krishna is always happy, and his happiness is immediately responded to by his Hladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani. Now Prabhupada says something else in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. How long do I have? 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. So Prabhupada says something very interesting. He says, Krishna, listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. Okay? You sitting up straight? Listening very carefully. Okay. He says, Krishna manifests himself as Radha. It is not that she is separate from him, like the sun and the sunshine. They're always in the same place at the same time. But one is the sun, one is the sunshine. Radharani, Prabhupada says, is also Krishna. For there is no difference between the energy and the energetic, the source of the energy. The spiritual exchange of love between Krishna and Radha is the actual display of the internal pleasure potency. He exhibits his potency as Radha, then engages in loving relationships with her. Okay? Now you can relax. I just wanted to tell you that bit because that's directly from the introduction to the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and there's a very special explanation that Prabhupada gives. So then Prabhupada says, Srimati Radharani is the tender-hearted, feminine counterpart of Krishna. Now, of course, Radharani has no gender. Don't go thinking that Radharani is a woman. No. Because then you'll have to think that Krishna is a man. Then you'll be in all sorts of trouble. Okay? But in this he says feminine counterpart. So she is the original blueprint of all feminine softness. Now, in the modern world they say there's no difference between men and women because they want parity of employment opportunities, parity of voting, and that's fine. But we have special skills. I'm talking now, ladies, we have special skills that men do not have. And that special skill is that those who conceive a baby, Mother Nature gives them the special skill to look after children. So a mother will know all the details of her children, whereas the man of the house just thinks that there's some short people inside the building. The men don't, they don't know. If you send a man shopping for food for a child, he won't know what to get. He'll just buy pizza and ice cream. But the ladies know how to keep the child healthy. So similarly, this ultimate division between male and female, this also comes from the original blueprint that Prabhupada says that we approach Krishna through the tender feminine counterpart of Radharani. And therefore we call out to her first. Radharani has many forms. She expands as Lakshmi, expands again as Sita. So we call out the name of the tender-hearted feminine counterpart to Krishna. Sitaram, Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna, Hare Krishna, like that. Here's something that Prabhupada said. Please sit up straight. Listen very carefully, because he says, very interesting, this could cut short your time that you need to become Krishna conscious by about 40 years. Okay? He says, Prabhupada says, if we approach Krishna through Radha, through her mercy, then it all becomes very easy. You can clap. I'm sorry, I'm such a controller. If Radharani recommends this devotee is very nice, then Krishna immediately accepts. However a fool I may be, because it is recommended by Radharani, Krishna accepts. Now, relax. At Bhaktivedanta Manor, Prabhupada came in 1973, and of course he was installing the deities on Janmashtami Day of 1973 in the beautiful house bought by George Harrison of the Beatles. And on that day, Prabhupada says, he told one devotee, if a devotee comes to this temple and he puts one screw in the wall, one screw in the wall, of course, don't do that in this temple, get permission. Don't all come and put screws in them. But he said, if one devotee comes and puts a screw in the wall, he said, Radharani will turn to Krishna and say, my dear Lord, look at this great devotee. Please give him your mercy. What a wonderful. You can clap anytime if it helps to keep you awake. So then he said, this is directly from Prabhupada, he said, we can pray, Radharani, kindly tell about me to your Krishna. Krishna is yours. Tell about me to him. Prabhupada says again, 1971, he says, you have to please Radharani and worship her first. Instead of offering a flower to Krishna, offer it to Radharani, saying, oh Jagannatha, oh Mother of the Universe, please give this to him. Isn't that wonderful? You always knew it was going to be something a little easier, didn't you? So Krishna is not independent. Krishna is Radharani's property. One time at Radhakund, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati saw the king of the local area come to Radhakund. They said, oh, he's a great devotee of Krishna, and that's why he's coming to Radhakund. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, yes, and we are great devotees. He said, we are devotees of Radharani, and we are worshipping Krishna because she loves him. So, there are so many stories, Prabhuji has told you so many stories there. Prabhupada said, finally, In 1926, there was a beautiful series of Bengali paintings, and one of those paintings had Radharani bringing a gopi's hand to touch Krishna's hand. He said, Prabhupada said, this is the preaching mood. Because of Radharani's compassion, she wants other gopis to be with Krishna more than she herself. Even though being with Krishna is the most important thing for her, she wants to bring them to be with him. He says this is the mood of a devotee. So our mood as devotees, each of us, is to please bring someone and put them in touch with Krishna. This is our mood. If you can do this in your life, that is perfection. But be warned. Be warned. Even after everything that we have said here, do not think, says the Vaishnava Acharyas, do not think that we have immediate access even to Radharani. We have to go through the devotee of Radharani, which is the Guru. Very important. The inner mood of a devotee is that I will wait at Kusum Sarovar, and I will wait until my Guru comes from Radhakund, and he asks me to do something. I will do something, and then I will immediately return. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, Pujala Raga Pada Gaurava Bhakti. You always keep the intimate affairs of Radha and Krishna above you and in front of you, and always be a servant of that. When there is a party going on, you wait till you have an invitation. In 1975, the devotees of the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, they read in the back of the Upadeshamrita, recently translated, that the holiest place in the universe was Radhakund. So immediately they went there and they started to have swimming races across Radhakund, the holiest lake in the world. So at that point in 1975, Prabhupada said, none of my disciples go to Radhakund. I became a devotee when I was 17. The first time I ever went to Radhakund was when I was 32. I was 32 years old because Prabhupada had said, do not go there. He said, those who want to go to Radhakund will go to Narakund. Narak. And he gave a great warning about that. He says, wait until the invitation comes. Don't be so precocious. Don't be so pretentious. You wait until the invitation comes, and when the invitation comes through the chain of command, from Radharani, Manjaris, Gopis, the assistants, your Param Guru, your Guru, and then finally you have confirmation yourself. That is the time. Don't imagine that you have reached this point in your spiritual practices. This is Sahajya. This is a great difficulty for us, great difficulty for our movement. So the mercy is there, but the mercy also comes dasanam, 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 das. Britya, 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 brityanam, says King Kulashekar. Dasanam, 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 das, says Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let that be a lesson to us. But Prabhupada has given us some wonderful news. The really good news is that as soon as you put yourself on the very end of that chain of command, he says, immediately your relationship with Krishna becomes direct. He says, this is the mystery of the parampara. This is the mystery. You put yourself further and further and further away, and then direct, you come closer. But as soon as you think you are direct, then you're very far away. It is a paradox. And I will leave you to think about that. All right. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, and everyone spellbound. One more time for his great speaker boy who did a wonderfully amazing last. We only wish we had more time. Am I right? Yes, we wish we had more time. We are going to continue with the program, and we're going to invite both Prabhu and his daughter Janavi to take part in the next part of the program as we conduct our annual gift opening ceremony. So we'll turn and orient ourselves towards the deities right now. So we invite everyone to turn around and face their lordships, Shri Shri Radha Kirchur Govina. Monisha and Abhay.
want their name mentioned. Beautiful necklace and earring set from another wonderful Srimati Radharani's devotee. Another exquisite necklace with earrings from another one of her Radharani's anonymous devotees. Two beautiful necklace sets and a couple of finger rings for Gopinath so he doesn't feel left out from Bhakti Yoga, Janavi, Haridas, and Leela Madhava. A beautiful sari from Mr. and Mrs. Desai and family. Beautiful necklace set with earrings from Mahajan Das and Sudevi Devi Dasi. an assortment of towels, many towels for the Lord, from Subhadra and Radhavidya. So 3 lanterns and a number of batteries for the next ice storm. From Satya Devi Dasi. A pair of beautiful vases by another one of Radharani's wonderful devotees. A hand blender mixer from one of Radharani's wonderful devotees by the name of Yogeshwar Das, Savitri Devi Dasi, Priya, and Krishna, and Sachipriya Devi Dasi. A beautiful picture of Matsya Avatar. Another beautiful necklace and earring set from another one of Radharani's devotees. And a sari.
So the doors are